A gaming headset and a suit jacket. It just doesn't feel right, does it? But
it does feel like I'm going to be very harshly judged by the fashion gods.
Luckily, there ain't no fashion gods in CS, so you're safe for now. Of course, we've got Heroic taking on Copenhagen Flames. Now, Copenhagen Flames, they played a series just moments ago where they were able to knock down SKADE in a 2-0 fashion. That was a hard slog of a game compared to Heroic's journey here, who absolutely decimated Apex, and then were able to take SKADE down 2-0. Now, that game was a little bit longer, but they do have the quality of a bit of extra rest time before they move into this grand final.
Yeah, a little bit of a double overtime. I believe that was on Vertigo that Heroic needed to defeat ECSTATIC right there. On the other side, Copenhagen Flames, they've had a little bit of back and forth, but eventually SKADE did end up keeling over. However, yesterday, it wasn't the cleanest versus... actually, it wasn't the cleanest for SKADE going up against Dignitas, but that's okay, because in the end, they managed to defeat one of the invited teams, as one of the main Swiss teams, but now it's all down to the invitees. We've got ourselves the Danish derby, and Heroic, coming into this, Kremer, they are heavy favorites.
Yeah, they are. I mean, you look at the odds for our partners at Pinnacle, about 2.7 to 1.4. I'm inclined to agree with them. I mean, Heroic are ranked 5 in the world. This is going to be a uphill battle for Copenhagen Flames, to say the least. Now, I would absolutely love to see Copenhagen Flames maybe pull something out of the hat. Pretty much ever since Copenhagen Flames got back from the major, they just haven't looked the same. Now, I would love to see some of that old Copenhagen Flames, because my god, they were good. But even then, is that enough to beat Heroic? We'll have to see. This is, of course, the Danish derby as well.
Yeah, Jabby, though. Good news for Copenhagen Flames is Jabby is looking pretty on it today, at least on Nuke. Their entries were clean on the T side, managed to make a huge amount of space for Copenhagen Flames. You've just got to hope that they won't be flagging in terms of performance, because remember, Copenhagen Flames have not had as long of a rest. And I know that there are dissenting opinions about how rest works. Like, is there like a level of rest where it's detrimental that you actually stop playing for about like an hour or something, where you sort of start to lose the adrenaline, the pump of an official starts to fall off, and you get more tired compared to like, say, a 3 or 4 hour rest where like you can get a nap in, you can have a warm-up scrim in the meantime if you want to, and maybe have a little bit more to play with when it comes to that time. Here's the Heroic roster. You all know them if you're CS fans, and of course you all love them.
You're absolutely right, and honestly, there's not much to say here when it comes to Heroic. Their own results speak for themselves, you know? You've got that top 4 placement at IEM Katowice. I mean, you look back, some of the players of the year have come from Cadian last year when he was able to hit that 1v5 to win ESL Pro League. I mean, these guys are good. They are bloody good. And honestly, when you do look at teams, I think the one that springs to mind is Endpoint. You sort of see a very, very strong team, and sometimes there are a few players who can be a little bit inconsistent. For instance, you look at Mighty Max. However, on Heroic, that isn't the case at all. These guys are just all good. All of them can have standout performances. All of them can absolutely decimate their opponents if they're feeling it on the day. And unfortunately for Copenhagen Flames, dare I say it, these guys are feeling it.
They certainly are. At least against ECSTATIC looked pretty good. We can have a look at our map veto now to see where we're going to be jet setting for the next 3 maps that we're going to be heading to, Kremer.
I think that, honestly, bear in mind that these teams have a very similar veto pattern. The veto is going to not really favor either team. It will all come down to just how they play when it comes to form. Now, Vertigo is the only one that raised a little bit of questions because Heroic don't play it all too often. Same for Nuke. But these 2 maps, while they don't play them very often, they play them against very good teams. And so because of that, the caliber context, you need to take into consideration here. Copenhagen Flames are against Tier 2. Copenhagen Flames, they play against... Heroic, sorry, they play against Tier 1, and we're talking the best of Tier 1.
Yeah, Nuke is an interesting pick here. On the surface, with a 33% win rate, it's a little bit weird that Heroic could pick it, but to contextualize that stat, it is played 3 times over 3 months. And once it was lost, I believe, to FaZe over in February. Most recently, it's been played against Apex earlier in this very bracket. It was dominated 16-4. But this is a little bit of a pain point for Heroic when it comes to the Pinnacle Winter Series, because they actually participated in Pinnacle Winter Series #1, and they were knocked out by the, I believe, Kazakhstani team, K23, on their way to the finals. With
a big upset as well. They went into that one as favorites as well. Now, when you look over, and you need to remember, same applies to their games on Vertigo. Copenhagen Flames have picked a map that Heroic actually have a 100% win rate on in the last 3 months, but of course, against tier 1 teams, you actually play a little bit less when you're in tier 1. And you need to remember, these results of Heroic, they are pretty good. Beating Virtus Pro, 16-10, that's something you can really take to heart. And on top of the fact that this was the other map in the veto against the Static as well, where they were also able to win, even though it did go to double overtime. I think Copenhagen Flames are brave to get a veto like this, and I think that maybe they're trying to make a bit of a statement, because with Overpass being our decider, that's Heroic's best map, kind of categorically. So there is Copenhagen Flames going to this with a big challenge ahead.
Yeah, this is on the veto as well as in the odds, not looking great. However, we can head into our first map of the grand finals here at the Pinnacle Winter Series, Kremer. It's going to be a doozy, and we've got a moment to thank all of our lovely partners. Thank you so much to our partners Extrafy, who can give you all the hardware you need. Our fantasy partners in World of Esports with a Z, with their integration of the Pinnacle Winter Series number 3 players that you can put in your fantasy team. And of course, stream cards as well, our Twitch extension, where you can predict what's going to be happening in the forthcoming rounds.
Down. Spots a bit of early aggression in mid here. Actually going to be flashed to rear aggress, really hunting for a man advantage here. Copenhagen Flames, they go to this pistol round with 4 flashes, 2 smokes, meaning an execution is absolutely within their capabilities. Over on Heroic, actually no kits. Instead, it's that single smoke and double flash for Terzes. He's already used that flash to rear aggress in mid, and with limited effectiveness from that, Copenhagen Flames, they've just gone quiet. They're trying to bait Heroic into taking a fight here.
Xiphon takes matters into their own hands. Stown slain through the wall. You got to remember, Nikados doesn't have the classic P250 you usually see your AWPers buy here, because of instead they have invested in this utility, Kremer.
Now, the last time these two teams met in the same tournament, it was IEM Katowice, where I believe Copenhagen Flames finished, I think, the kind of bottom 13 to 16, whereas Heroic, they finished top 4. And while they didn't play against each other, Harry, that's definitely a statistic to look at and maybe take into consideration here when placing your prediction.
Smoke given, and Tezzes moves out to a fresh position. Xiphon will be able to check this. Tezzes smoked again. But finally, moves out behind 2 headshots in quick succession. Tezzes, the aim has returned today. But Jabby, they have been able to appropriate one of those USPs and is putting it to good use. And I'm only Cadian. The legendary player remains. The first is good. The second behind the orange boxes. Will Roy be able to take down Cadian here? Is the question. No real upgrade, but that doesn't matter. The Glock strikes true, and Copenhagen Flames win the pistol round.
Hell of a way to open. Remember, you're on your T side of Vertigo as well, and a lot of players have said that Vertigo is ever so slightly T-sided. Honestly, with it being so close, it's quite similar to Ancient, where the side dependency just literally comes down to your preference. But both of these sides, that preference lies on their CT side. So 9-6s, 10-5s in favor of your CT side is to be expected here. And for Copenhagen Flames, pissed around on your T side, that's all just going to make your lives that bit easier.
Moving over now towards the A site instead. It is actually a little bit of a diaspora, a wide spread down in the underground. Copenhagen Flames non-committal at the moment, knowing that Heroic are dangerous regardless of the buy. Not making any egotistical plays early in this match.
Roy through the wall, so he can do the odd bit of damage. Just trying to catch out and maybe even harass one of the Heroic players as Copenhagen Flames set their gaze to mid, where Shush is going to be the main man tested here.
Shush was the first person to fall in this grand finals. Oh, trying to isolate Stown here. And Stown does take a touch of damage, but no more than that. Does have the best pistol available for Heroic in the Dig. Once again, Copenhagen Flames are getting pretty smart with this. They aren't running out any basic rush tactics. Even in the anti-eco, every single second, Kremer, is being used.
I like that. I do like it. It means that you're also making Copenhagen Flames commit a lot of utility before they even commit to a site. There's 35 seconds left. They've got a molly and a flash. That's it. Heroic actually out-util the Flames, despite the fact they're on pistols.
Shush doesn't even get to see the molly land because their eyes are one at the back of their head. Hooksy with the SMG takes down Stown, but Roy just takes away all the space. And Cadian, once again, will be one of the last people standing alongside Tezzes. They can move in as a duo here, try and get themselves a crossfire. However, the AKs will prove too much to deal with. Roy with a double, rounding their kill count out to 3. And Heroic aren't rewarded too much for their pistol force.
I am very happy, actually, with the weaponry decision from Heroic there. I like the pickups of 5.7s, because you need to remember, you're going to be against armored opponents regardless. You might as well get that higher armor penetration, and while a P250 can kind of do it, body shots just become that bit more effectiveness. So bringing out 5.7s definitely has a lot more impact. Over Copenhagen Flames, though, gets play a bit of a bonus now, and that Mag 10 is looking hungry for some kills.
Full ecos now. Do you think it's interesting that Copenhagen Flames are continuing to play quite slowly, meaning that they're not really generating a huge amount of default assumptions on the side of Heroic thus far? Might be able to catch out one of the full buys with a rush. However, it's a rush on the side of Heroic right into the business end of the rifles. Sure, Roy will fall. The Copenhagen Flames don't mind too much. They pick up the rifle, move it along, and that means that Roy, they'll easily be able to afford reinvesting here.
Remember, at Pinnacle, with the best CSGO odds, with low margins and high limits, you can win more at temp.gg/winter. However, you can also head over to temp.gg/live odds. Both of them work, both of them take you to Pinnacle. This is the grand finals of the Pinnacle Winter Series. If you want more series from Pinnacle, you should probably go check them out, give them the love they deserve. There's also a little promotion at the moment where if you sign up with code WINTER22, you get a few extra goodies. Remember, only have a gamble if you're over the age of 18. Do so in a fun and safe environment. And for Copenhagen Flames now, playing bonus with a few Galeals. They lost the Max 10 last round, so it's not too heavy a financial save here. It's just the Molotovs to get the opening.
Jabby burns to death. No smoke was used to extinguish that Molotov. And now their AK might well be tempting for Zyphon to try and recommit to. So of course, Zyphon only has the Galil at the moment. May even try and camp the AK. Seeing if any CTs would like that juicy one-shot headshot.
Now,
there it is.
I like how Copenhagen Flames, so they realize they've lost a player. They extend on ramp to kill Shush, just so that they keep the level playing field when it comes to man counts. It also means that Tezos is actually very alone here, playing more for info than anything. As Copenhagen Flames go for slow ramp control, the nade stack is going to betray intention as Zypher now becomes the lurker.
Zyphon going to be up against 2. Keeping them at B is important, and so can play this slowly with the amount of health they have. But refresh. Finds that one fairly easily. Now Cadian with the AWP has arrived on the scene. The first miss. That's going to be a leg, I believe, or possibly through the boxes. Puts Roy low. Cadian continues to move on forward. The pirate will raid. Wants that booty. Wants that loot and wants those corpses. If you don't bring me Danish scalps, you ain't staying on the team.
Lucy looking to do the same. 1 versus 3 now. That's quick.
That is bloody fast, Kremer. Heroic on their first buy here will keep 3 players alive.
Would you like to know a fun fact about Zyphon? And
yes, give me a Zyphon fact.
At tier 2, because, you know, you, me, our producers, the viewers, they're all fans of tier 2. And this is something that we'll know that people at tier 1 won't, which is Zyphon, when he was first coming up, he had a huge problem with toxicity and mentality. And he's, before he even joined Copenhagen Flames, he was really combating that. He fixed it, joins Copenhagen Flames, and it shows some real growth, because now he's become one of the most effective lurkers to really come out of Denmark. Like, when I think of Danish lurkers, I put Zyphon up there with Zipnix. Like, that's how good he is.
Oh my goodness. Damage done there. Ice down. But no more than 1 fatality, Zyphon. But low again. Won't matter too much, as they will likely retreat into a lurking position. So once again, Copenhagen Flames drop the tempo and start to breed paranoia in Heroic.
Tezos on ramp, forward at angle, but once again, undefended in this position. It's Tezos versus the world here, Harry.
Could be a one and done, Zyphon. Oh, that's an unfortunate bounce on the bomb. The Molotov here as well. Hooksy actually runs around it, tries to outplay Tezes. But you can't outdo the king, baby. 2v1? Just give it to me. Surrender now. Or prepare to fight.
Nikodos, the RGL of Copenhagen Flames, making his way through mid, looking to potentially catch out Cadian here. It all comes down to timing, and Cadian, he is bloody ready.
Nikita's wins that with a slow walk. No way, shoosh.
That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen.
But that is a little bit of an early tilter right there. No way. No way, Jose. Now Jabby up against 2. Refresh has been boosted up on top of the box. It's going to be a very much unexpected angle, but Jabby might see it a little bit. No, not fast enough. Battered back by the force of bullets, Shoosh will reclaim the AWP that was lost by Cadian. And now Heroic pick up their second. And our Pinnacle match odds, Kremer, start to adjust.
I'm surprised that despite Copenhagen Flames being in the lead, these odds are now more one-sided than they were before the series even started. Almost a 3-1.
I guess they kind of care more that Heroic have now won both of their rifles versus rifles fairly cleanly.
I mean, they're probably going to win this round as well. Nikita's has a... This is a Copenhagen Flames buy. They do it a lot on Ancient as well, which is they go for the Nikita's buy, which is Nikita's pulls out an AWP. If he gets a kill, awesome, it snowballs. If he doesn't, then they just save the AWP. And it all come down to whether or not someone's bold enough to peek him on Heroic here, because there's nobody that expects an AWP, but Nikita's doesn't expect a nade.
That is pain. Pain and suffering, Kremer. However, doesn't matter when you got the AWP in hand. Not like you're going to be taking long duels anyway. There's moving past. Cadian doubles down on the angle. Nikita sees him. The timing's so good. And that's 2 rounds now for Cadian, where they might be wishing they had a little bit more. Creeping on forward to multiple members of Heroic. They want that AWP. It is presented. You can see that Roy camping it at the moment. Wants to deny refresh this, but the refresh has a chance it could be flashed in here. And we'll just wait on this side of a smoke, knowing that, hey, Ooksy would love an upgrade onto a slightly better weapon. I see your shoes, mate! You've been to Clark's, I can tell.
Nostalgia now, Roy. I think Clark's is a notoriously English-only brand.
It's true. I mean, I don't want to make an enemy of Clark's for Relog, but also not fantastic.
That's true.
Sorry, Relog. We're making corporate enemies again. And
we don't need
making
it.
B-site enemies. Is going to be the plant right here. Gives over a little bit more money. Nikidol still has this AWP. They might be able to actually grab Stown here.
I don't want to see him go for a kill here. I would rather see him save this.
Nikidol does this every time. The quick scope does not work
messy.
Out.
That is so
Stown
messy.
is also messy on the other side. The mess is in the favor of Heroic. However, the timing here going to allow Jabby to try and take this slowly. That's one. Anything more from the Digmaster? The entry, the big boy, never mind. Tez has put some down in the grave, and Shoosh will be able to get themselves a defuse. Will the AWP be found? I think they can go grab Nikidoz's. Indeed, they can.
That was a lot closer than it should have been. Copenhagen Flames with the hero AWP on Nikidos do a lot of damage, actually. And thanks to the bomb plant, they could afford the AWP next round anyway. And I'm going to correct myself a little bit, Harry. I realise what I'm wrong. It's Hooksy, the RGL of Copenhagen Flames, not Nikidos. I do apologise. And Hooksy is now going to call for a timeout.
Hooksy wants to chat.
Hooksy wants to chat.
That sounds kind of intimidating when you put it that way, doesn't it?
Heroic, sit down for a second.
Like if Hooksy sends you like a Zoom meeting request, you're like, oh, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, you accept, or you're gonna have a horse head in your luggage. Heroic with a 3-round spree now, and they've done so. Well, the buy rounds were clean. After that eco, it's actually done a lot of damage to their economy. You look at their economy, their eco next round, if they lose this, with no loss bonus as well. Refresh and Shoosh can't buy. Stown, potentially, if he does a bit of damage in this round. Cadian and Tezes will just be able to as well, but getting an AWP on Cadian, that's a pipe dream. Right now, if this round is lost, that AWP's out of the hands of the CTs for a good 3 or 4 more rounds, which is where Copenhagen Flames really like to be.
Oh, spraying down the ramp. Look at refresh, how far they've gone. Nikidos has no idea. It was passed on by. Sure, the refrag is there, but now you've taken out Nikidos, who has weirdly been the better of the 2 AWPers thus far. Admittedly, you're only in the 7th round. Acadian's not had a great time thus far, Kremer. Only, I believe, in round number 4 was Cadian a really impactful AWPer.
Jabby. Getting ready to go through the smoke here. Shoosh. The man to stop him.
Doubling on up.
Oh, what a read. What a read, Harry.
If he was up there, though, there's got to be a second Kremer. And so Shu shall keep their crosshair trained, ready for the Jabby entry. Down on the crossfire. Deadly. As Cadian returns to prominence with the AWP, Heroic surely here going to grab themselves a fourth, unless Siphon can make something magical happen.
Xiphon hunting for a kill in mid here, down. So we're going to come down to timing. Xiphon, I think, just has the advantage, but it's heartbreaking. He gets one, sure, but with only 40 HP.
Xiphon should have won that.
No money in the bank either. Save it. Count your blessings. Get out of there. It's only 30 seconds left as well, Harry.
They're heading into enemy territory, though. Shoosh was waiting in the T-spawn. I'll grab them when they respawn, boys. Heroic pick up their fourth and just about keep their economy ticking over. Keeping that AWP in circulation is absolutely crucial.
Remember, this is the Pinnacle Winter Series. Do you know what that means, Harry? That means Pinnacle. With the best CSGO odds, with low margins and high limits, you can win more at temp.gg/winter or temp.gg/live odds. Both of them will help you get to Pinnacle, because Pinnacle are the wonderful people who have made it all happen. Remember to only ever gamble if you're over the age of 18. Only ever do so in a fun and safe environment. And if you sign up with code WINTER22, you get a few extra goodies. Fully code out for Copenhagen Flames, and for Shoosh, that'll be the opening thereafter.
Jabby being down weakens the entry slightly, but hey, it's all about the rush with these Tech 9s, and one of them's going to strike pay dirt here. Roy manages to take down Tez's, but Refresh keen on the vengeance. You ain't having that, mate.
I like how Heroic aren't giving any respect to Copenhagen Flames here. They really aren't. And one of the rounds I want to highlight is when we saw some aggression from, I believe it was Tezes. He was just flashing that smoke. They killed Dignitas within the first, almost like 5-10 seconds of the rounds. It completely keeps Copenhagen Flames on the back foot, even there against the eco. Usually when teams are facing an eco, they go for info on the longer ranges, and they just fight wherever the pistols are going to be ineffective. In this case, Heroic, they just get right into the gob of their opponents. With a quick boost, Roy can't quite get the opening.
And Roy suffers a touch of damage from that Xiphon here up against Cadian, who is back on form and back on the watch list. Murder after murder. Dignitas trying to exploit this one-way smoke here, but Refresh keeping calm, keeping small. Crab walking their way up. Might actually be spotted here by Dignitas, but the timing. They've seen the AK barrel, and the punishment is there.
It's twice now Copenhagen Flames have attempted this boost. Will it be successful? This time they're going into an unguarded site, something they could very well exploit here. It's through mid. Stan, he's going to hear this noise. He's going to realise he may have taken his eye off the ball.
Stan realises the jig is up. Moves on over.
What a flash.
And seeds again once the flash hits, but now they can take themselves a fair fight. Doesn't matter in the end. Jabby's still better. Hooksy in the back, making sure that none of Heroic feel safe in their rotations. I believe that Shushu was caught out for a moment. A pixel from Cadian. Can it be exploited? An attempt to try and slow down the plant, but Roy simply tanks it and puts it down anyway. The second nade blows Roy out of the water, down now to a 3 versus 3 for Heroic. This is must-win for Copenhagen Flames. They can't really afford to reinvest after this again, unless the loss bonus will sustain them. Dignitas holds this, knowing that time's on their side. The move has to be made by Heroic eventually. Backup is going to be good. The swing from Jabby is rewarded. Tez's falls on down, and Dignitas starts to make some distance happen. Sure, Cadian gets a kill onto Jabby, but in the end, the round goes the way of Copenhagen Flames.
What a round for Copenhagen Flames. What I really like, actually, in that retake is no one peeks. Now, this may be a kind of side effect of the fact that Heroic have been pummeling them, but they go into retake. They just hide. And with hiding, what it means is that Heroic have to overextend if they want to catch out a player. By the time they do that, by the time they've set up their utility, by the time that they've got the AWP to maybe even switch out weapons, after all those considerations are put into play, there's only about 10-20 seconds left on the bomb. And in a 3-on-3, that's no time at all.
Cadian.
Another opening! Another one!
So aggressive. Mid is Cadian zone. You are simply renting it. And let me tell you, the rent is too damn high, Kremer. Tez's moves quickly, adjusts onto Roy. And Copenhagen Flames, despite grabbing that last round, they are quickly ego checked here into a 3 versus 5.
Jabby through mid now. He's been pretty good at out-lurking Stown so far, but he's already given his position away. Down to the 4-on-3. Jabby needs to do a lot on the back line here just to ease getting this bomb to one of these sites.
Jabby has certainly created a sense of paranoia, some fear. What is safe and what is not? Refresh has to walk slowly, but might find a timing here. Onto Jabby. Indeed, they should. The execution is solid. The AWP now a lot more recoverable for Heroic, as it is in a fairly deep location in their territory. Shush is patient. Can Hooksy do anything here? They have the HE, but it'll be a difficult bounce to make work.
Did they see his shoulder? Shush may have very well saw Hooksy's shoulder there. Bear in mind that the left side of your body sticks out further than the right side of your body in CS. Now Shush on this angle, it's just a bait and switch for a fresh here. Sneaky Dolls comes to assist. Will it be enough, Harry?
This might be a one and done for Shush, though.
Oh, he's seen him!
Oh, the shoulder has been noted, and now, hey, if they are sitting there, if Shush is there, someone's on the crossfire. Will Shush take the peak? No. For now, disciplined, outdoored by Hooksy. The speed, the power, the maneuverability. Agility is what it's all about, but Hooksy, all they can do is use their agility to get down the bottom of the stairs and get their skill cape to... Oh, no, I've just been reminded of agility in RuneScape, Kremer.
Oh, Harry,
that's a buried memory.
I do apologise.
My therapist is going to have a lot to talk about with this.
That was the game that taught me about scammers. I learned what they were.
For free, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Just hand it here, I'll trim it for you and give it back. Really, that's awesome. Do you want me to pay you for it? Nah, I'll do it out of the kindness of the heart. Thank you. Copenhagen Flames, down to another pistol buy around another hero AWP on Dignitas.
And once again, Dignitas battered and bruised by those nades. This time, though, with armor, so they aren't quite as blasted by the HE that previously did over half the HP's worth of damage it felt. Copenhagen Flames going to readjust.
For now, Shush. A forwarded angle on Pits here. Just have to be very careful. There is a bait and switch with Stan. I really like these close angles being held by Heroic. They're giving no respect to Copenhagen Flames at all.
However, little presence on mid. Remember previously, Cadian has been caught out in this area as recently as 1 or 2 rounds ago. The boost here up on top of the box. Checking the personnel, but none of Heroic are going to be here to present themselves except maybe Stown, who might give us a look. Dignitas obfuscated by that. There's the peak and the execution. Stown takes out the hero AWP, and Roy just tries to out-rotate Shush, and they're rewarded for it. Grabs themselves an M4. EWP, I'm not sure if it was claimed by whoever was on that boost. I think that Jabby just had to get out of there. And that could actually facilitate... Oh. Bloody hell, mate. That is a wild one. Do they opt in for a double AWP? I don't think so.
It's like every time Jabby has a deagle, he is taking someone with him. Like, regardless of whether he has high HP, low HP, armor, no armor, someone's dying before he is. It's so nasty. Remember at Pinnacle, with low margin and high limits, you can win and bet more. You can head over to dev.gg/winter for the latest betting odds, or dev.gg/live odds. Remember to only ever gamble if you're over the age of 18, only ever do so if you're in a fun and safe environment, and better still, sign up with code winter22, just so they know we're the ones who sent you.
So Pinnacle now. More investment in EUT2. Carrying it pretty well at the moment. Refresh, flashed on out, but can't beat the first. However, Tez is on the other side. Good refrags, playing this high ground well. They smell Roy in the smoke. And Cadian elsewhere just flies through the tarp with the AWP bullet and says, no one and done for you this time, Jabby.
That was insane. That was insane. Fair play to Heroic. A single pop flash goes off. They just swing as a 2-man hit team almost. And while Hooksy's playing anti-flash, good call. Have someone in anti-flash. He just gets shot from 2 angles, completely caught out, and Heroic continue what is a domination over on Vertigo. Remember, this is Copenhagen Flames' map pick, Harry. they wanted to be here.
This was their decision, admittedly, yes. And now back down to the Tech 9 rush. Dignitas with the high accuracy Desert Eagle. They are playing rear guard at the moment, as Copenhagen Flames might well try and use the time here. It's sort of an unofficial tack timeout, as well as seeing if Heroic will get a bit egotistical and overextend, but no. Here comes the rush damage already done. So much util here. Refresh lies in wait, but they don't even get to fire a bullet before Zyphon puts one through their head. I hope you like bullets, mate, because we're a bunch that are trying to make friends with you, and most of them coming from the end of Stound's AK. Roy doubles back, thinks twice about their play, as they have got the AK in hand, looted from a fallen member of Heroic, and while that was a win for Heroic, 3 members lost is not ideal against the pistol force.
Yeah, it seems like Copenhagen Flames are actually being a bit more effective on their pistol round buys than they are with full AKs. Heroic, currently having won 9 of the last 10 rounds, are looking to really just keep hammering this nail into the coffin of Copenhagen Flames. We're not quite on the final nail. We've still got a bit of wiggle room. However, there's
a bit of carpentry to be done.
Yeah, however, Copenhagen Flames, this isn't a body. They're still alive. This coffin needs to be broken soon.
Don't bury me, I'm alive. Dignitas, once again with the cheeky angle for refresh on the smoke here. Tezes sends in the HE.
Oh.
However, the trajectory betrayed him. While the util damage is high, the source is revealed. And so Roy will punish that in good time. Refresh now trying to anchor on the site, joined by Cadian. Cadian has, of course, had their AWP returned to them by one of their teammates. Refresh might actually get aggressive here. Will they see Dignitas? Nope, Dignitas sees them first. And now Cadian is being looked for. I know that AWP's around here somewhere. And boy, am I going to take his scalp. That's one for the records, boys. Copenhagen Flames flawlessly dismantle Heroic and get the bomb plant.
They finally break the Heroic momentum, but unfortunately for them, it's in the latter stages of this first half. And now, with only 1 round to spare, the question is, how close a half are we going to have? Now, with preference from both these teams being over to that CT side, 10-5s and 9-6s really aren't too bad for either side. So there is a very average half, I want to say. But that extra round definitely will go a long distance, particularly if you end up losing your pistol. It's down. Ooh. Spotted out, takes a bit of damage. By some miracle, he survives that. Copenhagen Flames show a lot of intention over to Pit.
Couple of bullets in the spine. I didn't need that anyway, mate. Last round of a half now. Heroic would love to walk away from this with a 10-5. And remember, Copenhagen Flames haven't been able to string together more than 1 round win since they got their pistol victory. And then turned that into a pair of anti-ecos.
Flash just deployed. Cadian on a really aggressive angle here. He does have to be careful with when he scopes in, because giving away an audio cue is going to, well, it won't allow him to get away. Says smoked by his teammate. Will attempt to get away as Hooksy gets the opening.
Down the anchor. What can they do but die? Torn apart and cloven asunder by the HEs. Refresh will take up the post of their fallen comrade as Cadian is lurking away on the ramp. Roy is waiting. And now Refresh. Nothing to do here but try and be, as the team name would suggest, heroic. There are no pockets in the grave, Kremer, nor are they between rounds.
There are no pockets between halves and maps. That's something I'm going to have. I'm going to remember that.
No half pockets. Refresh. Can't even win the first. Zyphon on the close angle lurk shuts it down. Copenhagen Flames end up with a 6-9 half. Nice.
It's not bad, actually. Really not bad. Remember, at Pinnacle, with the best CSGO odds, low margins and high limits, you can win more at temp.gg/live odds or temp.gg/winter. You can go check out Pinnacle, and if you sign up with the code WINTER22, they'll know that you're we're the ones who sent you. And I'm not sure. Chris Pie 5, supportive hug.
Words of affirmation from a stirring father figure.
There you go. With P250's drop to heroic, it's a mere flash on Tezes to try and get them up ramp here. Copenhagen Flames holding on to 2 flashes and a smoke.
Heroic get a a lot more of their rounds on their CT side compared to their T side. Admittedly, the data set is not too large. But that 42% of their round wins are on the T side compared to 58 on the CT. So Copenhagen Flames is fairly winnable for them. At the moment, there is a lot of action being compiled towards the bottom of a ramp. An interesting smoke here.
For now, Copenhagen Flames. They've heard kind of general presence from Heroic. They don't know where the full body of the force is. And so for Heroic, if they're able to spring a trap on the Flames there now, I personally don't like the retake A setup. I think it's really hard to retake that A site, particularly when you don't have smokes. But they've gone for it anyway, and my worry now is if Heroic gets to this site and plant and it goes to a 5-on-5, Copenhagen Flames have a lot of kills to achieve in a relatively short time, particularly when they don't have a kit.
2 P250s versus 2 P2000s. A gun-centric buy from both of these teams. Stown starts to take away some of this space. Adjusts over towards Hooksy, but elsewhere, Cadian's lurk has been taken down. Will that ask Roy to call for reinforcements? Can the Glock defeat the USP? Hooksy manages to get the reload done. Doubles down, but Refresh for Slay. And Refresh is going absolutely mad. The Glock is worked well, and Stown, how did they get that? The 90-degree adjustment, and Heroic reign dominant on the pistol round.
What on earth was that from Refresh? It's messy. It's I don't want to say undisciplined, but they have to reload between fights. And suddenly, Refresh goes, actually, I'm a pro player. And it just clicks and he kills everyone. Copenhagen Flames left with pistols now. The odd scout on Dignitas, so there is damage to be outputted here, but limited utility may make their life a little bit difficult. The Stown is going for a very aggressive angle.
Oh, Stown's punished for it as well.
Jabby Eagle,
one
man.
And done. It's always good for one, Kremer. Them's the rules. Hooksy, CZ, up close. This could work out quite well. Yep, overwhelms Refresh. I'm afraid that your reign of terror, mate, it's over. 3 versus 3 now, but upgrades for multiple members of Copenhagen Flames. Hooksy now has that AK in hand. Right at the top of the ramp here. Could be double swung upon. Only needs one, though. Shoosh is clean with it. And Hooksy might well be caught out here. Remember, not really much in the way of protection from a head armor. And so it's easy for the MAC-10 to take them down. Your disengagement means nothing to me. Nikados might want to grab that AK, and indeed, while the grabby hands are good, Tez's is gatekeeping.
Heroic now 11-6. There was a world where Copenhagen Flames were able to take the pistol round. Suddenly things look a little bit closer. They have the foundations to start making a bit of a comeback. But Heroic now, they're going to become 12-6 up. They win the full buy. That's 13-14-6 by the time Heroic get a second, or Copenhagen Flames get a second chance at a full buy. What that means for Heroic now is this becomes a matter of trying to close out this map in a clean fashion rather than just closing out the map.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, some cash is going to be farmed, Harry. Cash is going to be farmed.
Some money, baby. A touch of block in there from Stow, not allowing for the disengagement, but it's money, 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 money. And you can save money too with our partners over at Extrafy. If you go to tab.gg/Extrafy and use code WINTER10, you can get 10% off any of the items that are displayed there, including the wonderful H1 headset, which I'm currently wearing. One of the things I can really say about the H1 headset, which is cool, is that it doesn't have like the ear pad kind of degradation that I felt with other headsets, where it really starts to itch and the ear pads start to fall apart. It's some quality ear padding.
It is some quality padding. It's also really bassy. Like if you like music that goes wob, like honestly, that's the headset for you.
How am I the boomer out of us?
I don't know, man.
You're a boomer at heart, Kremer.
I know I am. Heroic. They found out. Hoping for an opening here. Shoosh is going to take a fair bit of utility damage just as a preliminary measure. Head back up to sandbags. Flames now. Forwarded angle. Held by Jabby.
Zyphon's already been lost, but Jabby, how much can they do? Already 2 in the bag. A third? Maybe no. Taken down by a traffic cone of all things. You hate to see it, Kremer. And Refresh is refreshing the performance we previously saw on the pistol round, an attempt to try and mess with this plant via the HE. The Copenhagen Flames now in a 2 versus 2. They just try and play this solely and keep the option open for a save for Dignitas, who is currently, I believe, on 0. I can't see it because of a Steam overlay. There we go. 50. Someone started playing GTA 5.
Oh, Harry.
What is this? Dignitas from behind!
Oh my god!
Man! He's Batman, baby! Oh my goodness, the Danish superhero wraps around the back. Someone started playing GTA 5, but up here we're playing Arkham Asylum, baby!
Where did that come from? Dignitas! He just... What? He absolutely ruins Heroic with that! And I mean, I understand why they go for the stereotypical Dignitas up by. That's why, Harry. Look at this! Oh my god.
Just what? Who needs scopes? I'm far from the hip with my AWP.
Yeah,
I'm just built different.
Give them iron sight, still make it work.
If you think you could have possibly predicted that, you should check out our, our stream extension
No
partner.
way that was predicted.
With stream cards, you would have got the highest score ever possible. Check them out. They're good partners. Roy's taken down Refresh, and here we go again.
Big C. Test angle. Trying to fight from head glitch. She's going to try and flash Roy into a bit of a more preferential position. However, the flashes from Cadian are good. 4 on 4 now.
Big C. Taken down, Shoosh. Still alive, kicking. Only the Mac 10 on both Cadian and Tez is here. And Dignitas can't stop the plant. Doesn't have utility or the angle while smoked on off, but does have a gap here to try and work with. Tez is down now behind the sandbags. Fighting with range with the Mac 10, obviously not ideal, but they can just play it patiently. Allow the bomb to do the work.
Dignitas ready to flash himself out. Already a man down. Dignitas needs to kill him quickly just to make it even here. So there is not much time left on this bomb at all.
Oh, Tessus wins out of range. No way! Dignitas overran by the Mac 10s. A freebie of an AWP here, potentially. Can you grab that? No, Storm just does not have time. However, Heroic are just happy to be walking away with the round.
I mean, that's heartbreaking for Copenhagen Flames. Dignitas has a monstrous round, and it doesn't matter. He loses the round after. Heroic win that with Mac 10s. I quite like the Mac 10 buy just as premise, because it means you go for quite an aggressive round. You just flash players through it. And, well, in this case, Copenhagen Flames start reeling from it now. They're going to have to wield P250s, the odd flash, just to maybe even catch out another M4 and save it. Heroic, this should be a fairly easy 14th and a dominant way to start your grand finals.
It's down, top fragger at the moment on Heroic. If you picked him up for your World of Esports fantasy team, you're a happy camper. Check him out if you think you'd be a good CSGO team manager. All of the players in Pinnacle Winter Series number 3 are going to be there to collect and add to your roster. Cadian leads the way, not with their preferred AWP, but just with the AK. That'll do just fine, mate. The spray transfer, the control is like a fireman with the fire. Oh my, Heroic 14, admittedly. They are eco frags, but Copenhagen Flames, it doesn't dull the pain of a 14-7.
That is why we call them feel-good frags, because Cadian, that is just going to build confidence. And for Copenhagen Flames now, confidence and momentum, it may be all they have left to salvage in this game. I mean, an 8-round win spree would be wonderful. I would love to see it, just to confirm overtime, make it 9 if you want to win. But that is a tall order, particularly against a top 5 in the world team. As Heroic, they head through ramp. They've been deployed. Roy, make a lot of util damage here before even seeing an opponent.
Roy can't take a single bullet, and Tessus wants to give it over, but it's a bait and switch. Dignitas on the other side, waiting for refresh. Timing simply isn't there. They managed to wrap around into Ivy, and now Dignitas is in danger. Like Ralph Wiggum on a bus, but no! I am the danger! Say my name!
2 on 2, once again, for this B site. Hooksy, close to Generator, may catch Stown off guard here.
Hooksy, oh,
he doesn't.
Stown just ducks under it now onto 21-11. What a game from a young Dane. Heroic. They want to claim match point here.
Could Dignitas do it again?
Surely not. Surely not.
You know he could do. He very well could do.
May not be the IGL, but he is for Clutchmeister. Oh, a Clutch Minister, mind. hierarchy of Danish clutches is very strictly enforced.
Victory here could lead to his run in the election going very well.
Becoming the vizier of clutch. It's down the first. Oh, Dignitas. Oh my. Making a play for the ministerial position. Looks up towards Cadian. Another tap up on the bomb, maybe. Might try and just hold the defuse. Cadian going to move on in. An execution given. Doesn't even die to the molly. But might die to the bomb, and indeed they do. A little bit of an economic peril for Heroic, but in the end, it's still match point.
What a position to be in for Heroic. You've got all the money you could ever want. You've got AKs to play with. There's the option to get the AWP out on Cadian, but why not? Yeah, if 5 AKs is working, why fix what isn't broken? As Copenhagen Flames muster and salvage the best buy they can bring. I mean, a couple of MP9s, the odd FAMAS. 2 M4s means there is a bit of teeth behind it, but while not blunted, definitely dulled. They look to fight in mid.
Will it be a desperate last gasp or heroic underdog story, Kremer? That is the question as Copenhagen Flames batten down the hatches. Put some nails into that carpentry. Tezes sees Roy's feet. Usually you gotta pay for that.
Stab. It's a little bit passive. Dignitas on sandbags. The position he's already played, so this could actually be pre-naded. Have to be careful. That's a clean flash. There's the trade.
And the upgrade as well.
Can they repeat that, though?
Happy days for Hooksy. Now with an AK in hand. Heroic don't have a huge amount of map control here, as they are pretty isolated over towards A. Spreading out once again to try and reclaim some of this.
Dignitas. Down from ramp here. Once again, challenging solo here. A one-and-done position. A brave position to be in. Particularly when you've lost mid control.
Siphon has fallen. Dignitas running out of friends real quick. And Heroic. They've caused Copenhagen Flames to run out of mulligans. Oh, Dignitas caught from the back. Cadian with the read and the execution. Heroic now in a 4 versus 2 for the map itself. 20 seconds might make time the cruelest mistress. But Refresh does not feel the pressure. They got their Nikes on, going for a sprint, a bounce on the smoke. And so far away are Copenhagen Flames at the moment. Going to be demanding a 2 versus 4 retake. There's the plant just in the nick of time. Refresh plays it perfectly. And now Hooksy and Jabby, they need to go big. Cadian's going to be the first one to challenge. A great adjustment from Hooksy, but they have suffered so much damage in the midst of all of this. And Jabby is all by themselves. An M4 to their name, no head armor, but it doesn't matter against the AKs. Will the young Danish upstarts be able to work this out? The answer is no. Tezes says absolutely not, mates. 16 rounds a hit by Heroic.
Dominant performance, and they take a step of the Pinnacle Winter Series 3. A hell of a way to start your grand finals by usurping Copenhagen Flames' map pick in a dominant fashion. In just a moment, we're going to be heading to Heroic's map pick of Nuke, where Copenhagen Flames will look to take their shot at redemption.
The grand finals of the Pinnacle Winter Series number 3, the last one, Kremer, have arrived, presented by our wonderful partners over at Extra Fire for all your peripheral needs, World of Esports for all of your fantasy needs, and of course, predicting what's going to be happening in real time, our stream extension partner, StreamCards. We head in to the pistol round here, and as you saw, the odds were very much in the favour of Heroic, and Heroic tend to agree here. Roy going to be going off on a chase, but there's a little bit of a bait and switch. Down with a punish, and Dignitas still will be fragging, but Zyphon isn't able to stop the bomb plant. Admittedly, at the moment, Shush is all by themselves. Everyone else a touch more far away. I'm going to have to sprint their way up here as Cadian moves up through the tunnel. The vents well placed here. Tessis is going to have to, once again, move through the door. As Squeak will reveal them. Can they win 2 duels in a row? The answer is yes. Tez is simply built different. Glock in hand and Glock to the heart.
He's just that bit better, Harry. He's just built different. Heroic, they go 1-0 up, looking to continue the momentum they were able to gain on Vertigo, with Copenhagen Flames moving to their 4th spy. 5 seconds come out. There's the odd B250, the odd CZ. Now, the trap that Heroic fell into last time this happened was some players were left alone and kind of unguarded with utility. It led to them being caught out, isolated, and killed. The question is now, will Copenhagen Flames be able to do it again, and will the Heroic make the same mistake twice?
Remember, on the line at the moment, the last spot over at Land Sweet Land. Copenhagen Flames would love a chance to prove themselves there. Heroic. I don't know if they've got too much to prove, Kremer. But dubs and events are always wins.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. A dub is indeed still a dub.
What can I say? I'm the dictionary, baby.
Yeah, you speak with much clarity, Harry.
Love him or hate him, he's speaking straight facts.
I think it does. Needs to be careful with this rotation up to heaven here. Refresh may catch him off.
Oh, Refresh does indeed. That Mac 10 puts a good use and an upgrade on the sidearm, if they so desire it. Lots of outside control at the moment for Heroic, but not much in the way of executions onto the sides. Now it's going to be A that is imperiled. Turning around, that's a lovely adjustment from Tez's. And Cadian will finish off what their partner started. Stown. How do they lose SMG versus CZ at that range? Roy has the spray of the gods, baby. Now they will join Zyphon.
Is that enough, Harry?
That's the question. Shoosh, it might well be. The pistol put to good use. One of the Mac-10s is down, but the AK is still on Overwatch at the moment. Playing up from heaven. Cadian's been able to move away here and continue to lay down suppressing fire. Not too much damage. A tap on the bomb. Not going to be held here by Zyphon as they look up towards heaven. Will the avenging AK of Damocles move on down? May not be able to win the fight. They do win the round.
That was a lovely shot from Roy on that CZ to just kickstart that whole retake there. The fact, I think he fired the first 2 bullets of that CZ were headshot. And that's why he was able to win against the SMG there, which is nasty accuracy. Our partners at Pinnacle, they rate it about 6.6 to 1.1 for the series odds. I'm inclined to agree with them. Heroic have just been looking dominant at the moment. And what I really like about this kind of Heroic iteration is they are showing no respect to Copenhagen Flames. It means the Flames don't really get a chance to establish themselves. They're always on the defense, and they were on the back foot pretty much the majority of Vertigo, something that Heroic are looking to do once again.
Heroic is a roster, of course, together for more than a year. The only real change-up recently has been, I believe, in the last 4 months, a new coach.
And I mean, Exist, he comes with a lot of bloody experience, doesn't he? Like, one of the best players in the world. And, well, for Zyphon, there's the assistance with that opening there. Stown caught out.
But now the Mac-10 has been lost. Only the pistols will remain for Copenhagen Flames. And admittedly, Heroic aren't happy with any losses in this round. Their bank is not looking particularly reinforced, but Nikador's skull is not reinforced either against those AK bullets. They penetrate it, and they penetrate it well.
That they do. Refresh onto Hooksy. And now, the last remaining players are on a bit of an eco, so it is eco frags rather than being a 4 spy. And for Roy, honestly, I think he probably hunts it. No point saving a Mac-10 in these circumstances. But Heroic, yet to plant, actually, buying a bit of extra time for the hunt. As Copenhagen Flames have 2 Mac 10s to wield in what would be a full buy next round anyway.
And of course, those Mac 10s do provide a good amount of money per kill if they can find any exits here. We'll find some cheeky angles. That's a lot of leveled rifles. Roy somehow gets away without taking any damage from a first. And then Jabby just zooms out of the vents, Kramers his way in.
I mean, that was brave.
I'm coming too, baby!
That was brave. He is punished in the end, though. And just like that, we're going to be seeing a 3-0 lead established by Heroic. Harry, I've got one word for you. Pinnacle. With these guys, they're pretty awesome. There's a link that's being put in the chat periodically throughout the series. There's a banner down below. Go check them out at temp.gg/winter. Remember, it's only ever gamble over the age of 18. Only ever do so in a fun and safe environment. And for Copenhagen Flames now, all in hand of Dignitas. Let's see if they can stop Heroic from some additional momentum.
Dignitas was by no means lacking on the AWP, I think, over on Vertigo. The only problem was that it didn't really pick up enough rounds to get the AWP in circulation a large amount, Kramer.
You're absolutely right. Roy, the lone defender of B right now, has to be very careful what is going to be 4 players looking to bear down on him here.
Oh, I haven't seen this skin before. We'll see if it gives them a buff. Nope! Skin is gone. Refresh. 1 to a brain of Roy, and now looks to intercept anyone else. Dignitas!
Oh my
Hello!
God.
How's that AWP feeling today, son? Are we feeling hot? Are we feeling warm? Are we feeling vengeful? Cadian, come over here. I've got a gift for you.
Refresh, that was a nasty shot. Stan now has a flank on the Hooksy. Hooksy needs to be very careful, actually. Luckily, timing sort of favours him. Now because of fight Refresh instead, before the flank then comes in. Zyphon, alone, outside of Under Heaven, flashed off the angle, and executed. What a flash from Shush as well. Heroic, they are looking dominating.
And now they got the upgrade to the AWP as well. Tez has picked it up for their mate Cadian. Cheers, bro. Real nice of you. And this means that, look at how little has had to have been invested after the rifle versus rifle for Heroic. They've spent probably about, what, 4 grand?
Yeah, and it just worked out. Copenhagen Flames now with a kind of pistol buy. You could also have a little bit extra, of course, once again, bring out another AWP. And for Cadian, I mean, this is a free AWP, essentially. It's saving the extra cash, and you look at the money, we're kind of 4 or 5 rounds in, and Tezes, Shoes, Refresh, all over 5k already.
That's a lot of money. A lot of cushioning, Kremer. Potentially try and destabilize Copenhagen Flames. The entries have been so solid. What a game we've had from Refresh as well. Coming into this as the lowest rated player on HLTV, but you couldn't tell from this.
No, you couldn't. It's actually surprising that he's one of the lowest rated. It kind of strikes me as a support player who, we said this in the pre-game, you know, Heroic don't have any bad players. Yes, he's the support player, but that doesn't seem to matter, does it? Rating. Yeah.
It's just not as poggers as everyone else is. Shush here, up against a CZ and a 5-7. Stown overwhelmed as well. Zyphon simply built different with the 5-7. I'm a pistol warlord, baby. I can't be stopped. Heroic lose 2, but admittedly the refrag is solid. This means Zyphon and Roy have now got themselves some upgrades. Refresh. Will they see anybody as they simply creep up their way towards A? And Cadian, they can set up their little mobile base in Mini.
Let's see if they can do just that now. Cadian, we'll go for that plant with limited time remaining. And for Copenhagen Flames, look how low a lot of these players are. They are beaten, battered, and bruised. But they still pack a punch with these 2 AKs on armored players as well. For me, Jabby's the man to watch out for. The second he picks up an AK, he actually has the equipment to really challenge Heroic here.
And the health to do so potentially as well. Oh my god! Roy was just absolutely blasted.
He was atomized.
Decimated.
Destroyed.
And so too the rest of Copenhagen Flames might be as well. Tezes is like, yeah, boys, I've got the money. I'm going. Hide, run, fear. The flash on Jabby fades away. Maybe they can slay Tez's hero. No way! No way! That is unfair. That is an absolute travesty for Heroic. 5-0, and the odds are reflecting that. Use code WINTER22 if you think that Copenhagen Flames can come back from 16.5 to 1.
I tell you what's happened is Pinnacle, they've seen this game, they've seen that last round from Heroic there, and they went, yeah, the odds are kind of going their way.
This one's happening, Kremer. This is some CS being played.
This is indeed CS, as Heroic, they continue a surprising default, actually. A lot of their vertigo was very strat heavy. We didn't see too many defaults. It was like early map control and then an execution. In this case, though, it's going to be another execution, this time to ramp, though, with Zyphon, the man to have to stop them. The man with an AK, though. That extra firepower could come in handy.
That firepower going to be leveled towards their Danish brothers. Cadian might have a cheeky little peek here. A flash given over. Zyphon completely avoids it. And now even more so lies in wait. Good spray control. Ducks down into the ramp. A miss from Dignitas means that there's still 4 players who are ready to continue battling and refresh a battler in their own right. Slams down Roy. Dignitas not seen, as they are playing in lockers here. They watch towards the gap in the smoke, and Shush is the one who makes a mistake. 3 players from Heroic remain. And Copenhagen Flames feels like a very rare opportunity to have themselves a man advantage, but it's taken away soon. Hooksy should be able to redress the balance. Grabs himself an easy one onto Reefer. No!
Oh, no!
How do they win these? First it was Tez's over in the spawn, now it's Refresh doing the 180 in the corridors. Unbelievable. Heroic. The skill on display from these players is unbelievable. Sure, Dignitas wins that one out with the pistol, but Cadian's punishment is swift and severe.
What on earth, Harry? A round which finally looks like Copenhagen Flames may have a chance? No. It's just thrown out the window. What an insane performance from Heroic there. They now standing 6-0 up. They could lose every round here for the rest of the half, and they will still be in a comfortable position. Copenhagen Flames, once again, the hero Dignitas up by may look to maybe catch Heroic by surprise, but reality is Heroic seem prepared for everything.
Refresh, what a frag to get. He has been on fire. Up close to the pistols, these have actually caused problems before, and it's for CZ again from Roy. I don't know how he controls that spray, but he simply does it differently. Dignitas tried to step out of the flames, and they just went into the oven. Tez is so fast on these peaks, man. It's just not fair. Confiscation of weapons, you ain't having those, bruv. I know you're poor.
See, now with only a CZ at this range, not being able to pick up weapons is going to be so difficult here.
As Heroic, Roy for some tips.
Yeah, they start delving down into B. Spokes deployed, Jabby, that man bolted him to go for a bit of a hunt here. But he's going to be mighty disappointed when he sees that there aren't any weapons available.
There is a Cadian available, though, and the bomb as well. Oh, that's a yikes. Now Tezis needs to win the duel against Jabby, and they simply cannot. The hero from the back. I don't need your weapons anyway. Confiscate them. Lock them away, but you can't lock away the jab.
Remember at Pinnacle, with low margins, high limits, you can win more at temp.gg/liveodds or temp.gg/winter. Both of them working with code WINTER22. We'll be able to know that, well, we're the ones who sent you. Give them the love they very much do deserve. And it's only ever gamble. If you're over the age of 18, do so in a fun and safe environment. A fun and safe environment, by the way, which is definitely dwindling for Copenhagen Flames here.
Not much safety to be given. Cadian may not be given too much respect here. Dignitas already in the lane, ready to try and battle for outside. The flash, solid refresh. Clears these angles, but do they know about the close angle? You bet the Cadians read that like a book, baby. Harry Potter 1 through 7 on my Kindle. Do not care.
Cadian to catch out one of these players here. Hasn't quite seen player on outside, and Roy punishes it for a third there. Heroic displaying a few flaws here, which are absolutely being exploited.
Oh, the cross from Shush, undetected. Astound. Oh, they might get timing tier. Yes, that should be an easy timing with the org. Oh, yes. The scopes have returned, Kremer. Now we're in business.
Copenhagen Flames certainly are. This could be where they put their foot down a bit. Especially with Shush being finished off by Hooksy. Copenhagen Flames, they make it 2. We're now Heroic. They gaze to their economy a bit and think, I remember when this was a bit more. The odds for partners at Pinnacle, though, still about 8. Oh, there we go. About 18 to 1.
Yeah, they're quickly adjusting these. Like, hold up. Copenhagen Flames can aim again.
Yeah, well, whoa. Where'd this come from? Hold on a sec, fellas.
I didn't. Who authorized this?
Heroic. Bear in mind that those are series odds. Heroic with a map advantage are always going to have some fairly significant leads here. But it's being mitigated ever so slightly.
Remember, this is the pick of Heroic. There's a world, Kramer, where Heroic might pick Nuke because they've only got a 33% win rate there at the moment. But that's across 3 maps. So if they can win this one, they will suddenly have a 50% win rate on Nuke. And voila, it is an even map. You got to think about the optics, true. Kramer. This is PR management in a map veto.
That's impressive. That's very... Granted, it's impressive if it works. If they end up losing the map, then it's a bit less PR.
First, otherwise it's going to be 25%.
Yeah.
And then it's Heroic Nuke lol.
You want to avoid Heroic Nuke lol.
That's some top tier coaching there, boys.
Over on the ramp. Hooksy in the bait and switch. Ready for these players to execute onto them. But look at this lurk gone outside.
Oh, Siphon Slaying Shush wins that one, but Hooksy.
He needs to go huge here. They haven't
cleared
him.
It patiently. 1, 2, 2. No!
Oh, no!
Hooksy can't control his spray. You're supposed to learn that when you're just a little boy, not potty trained in this case. But Roy's slightly better. Nikador's caught as they skid on out. Refresh claims that, and Heroic, with 3 players surviving, claim a 7th round. And well, Kremer, if you want to control your spray better, maybe you should consider investing in a new mouse like the Extrafy Wireless M4 mouse, now with customizable shells so that you can make it match for the rest of your setup. And if you go to tib.gg/Extrafy and use code WINTER10 at checkout, you can get 10% off. So do give Extrafy a big old look.
When I switched to Extrafy, I went from a Silver Elite Master to a Global Elite in just 2 hours. You could do the same with Extrafy. Terms and conditions do apply. We've got Heroic now set up in lobby, and I think they're wary of Copenhagen Flames going a bit aggressive. That appears to be what's kind of garnered them a lot of control here. Nikador's doing just that. However, it's down. How does he win that? How does he win it?
Cadian with the AWP here. Will be going up against Jabby. What speed! Ferocity! It's a gruesome death for Jabby. No heroes this time.
Heroic are looking kind of dominant, Harry. They're kind of dominant.
Absolutely topping Copenhagen Flames right now.
Siphon caught behind a smoke as well. He's got to go through this. He's just going through to his death. Roy now, a 1v3. He doesn't want anything to do with it. He'll save an AK. It's something, sure, but Heroic have secured themselves a victory in this first half.
Where did Caden snipe from?
Just 10 rounds in. Cadian, he's built different, Harry. He is built different.
He has a locomotion, dude. A schmovement. Look at that. 6 rounds in a row for Heroic, and then it's been 2-2. And now it is once again down to pistols. Good old Copenhagen Flames. If you think that you can predict the unpredictable, like a Copenhagen Flames pistol victory here, use our extension partners over at Streamcards to do so with a deck of cards and real-time predictions about what's going to happen in the next CS round. Shush already takes some damage. Jabby from up high. The Avenging Icarus with the CZ of Damocles dropping from the heavens. Hooksy. CZ enthusiasts. Look what Roy taught me. Heroic now down to 1. Only Cadian survives. And well, if you put this into stream cards, you are on a real high score right now. Nikador's holding the angle with the Desert Eagle. Cadian's playing it tight. Thus far is unseen, but there it is. A little bit of a whiff, but it is adjusted too well. Thanks for the AWP, mate. Couldn't have afforded one of those for a while. Copenhagen Flames grab a 3rd. Thanks, stream cards.
Well, I mean, if you did check that on stream cards, then you, my friend, have just won a fair few points, because that was a solid round from Copenhagen Flames there. Remember, at Pinnacle, 27-1 the odds currently sit at, really starting to sway in favour of Heroic. If you think otherwise, you can head over to sub.gg/winter, where you can sign up using code WINTER22 just to show that we're the ones who sent you. Remember, it's only ever gamble if you're over the age of 18, and do so in a fun and safe environment. Copenhagen Flames, the environment may be fun, but it's certainly not safe.
Oh, Roy. Taking down Cadian is a big one. And Heroic here, they have been forced down to the bottom of the barrel economically. 2 players only on Deegs. Did Cadian have a weapon that might be lootable is the question. I've had an AK.
Dignitas goes up through secret here. Refresh is the man to challenge. Can he do just that? As it looks like Stown umming and ahhing about flashing his teammates into A here. Remember, Heroic, they don't have much cash to their name here. Copenhagen Flames, the comeback is very doable.
Ooh, Jabby falling down there. That sucks. Oh, Nikados refreshes lurk is paying off well. And Tez is just keeping Hooksy's attention, but Hooksy just moves over to stab, and suddenly Copenhagen Flames are finding everything they want except for a dead Tez's. Flash avoided Xiphon. Calm and collected, as only Refresh remains in a 1 versus 2. Both of their opponents here. Loaded for Bear. Plenty of utility to play with and a pair of rifles as well. Xiphon holds the angle. Refresh! What was that adjustment? Doesn't see Roy coming, though. And Flames grab themselves a 4th. But hey, this is not what you want from a CT side of Nuke.
No, it's not. When you go blow for blow, though, the CT side, in this case, they're just about hanging on. Their money is taking a beating. Roy is down to about 1k. Jabby's going to be on much less once he's got armor and equipment. Xiphon's on 0. This is a circumstance where even if Copenhagen Flames win the round, they lose 4 players, they're on a worse buy, a categorically worse buy. And for Heroic being on a full eco, Copenhagen Flames need to make this clean, just so they can keep that economy in a state of survival, almost.
A little bit of reinforcement, a rescue Kremer, some aid for the economy. Currently, Heroic have them under pretty debilitating sanctions. Nikados heads up high. Oh, look at this. Cheeky little boost. Some shenanigans afoot. Straight into Roy. The spray control. Alright, Ooksy. Watch this. The bomb is dropped. Stown comes in with a knife in hand. I'm afraid this ain't no melee fighter, bruv. Copenhagen Flames with a flawless will slay the eco.
Roy left on just 1 HP there. Just about survives. And this is something I find quite interesting about CS. We see 1 HP a lot, but nothing in CS naturally damages you down to 1. Like there's no like bullet combination. It's always a grenade that's perfectly enough distance away on top of a perfect combination of bullets to do it. Like there is no natural. There's just no natural 1 HP.
It just ain't natural, Kremer.
It ain't right, Harry.
You should take a test, mate.
It ain't right.
I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% pretty lucky.
Unlucky to be hit for 99 damage.
That's true.
you did have to be damaged.
Maybe in fact you're 99% lucky.
That's true. With Xiphon now having to just back off for the time being. Makes a bit of noise on ramp, just deters Heroic from doing anything. Bear in mind that already a man down here. So they're going to try and make up for it. Jabby on a close angle. A position which absolutely could be punished. But is it predicted by Stown?
Lying in wait for the moment. Smoke shall begin to fade soon. And Jabby might be in a one-and-done position here unless it is refreshed. There is a flash. And as the smoke begins to debloom, Jabby will place themselves in a slightly safer location. Might try and stop a vent dive here if it is going to be designed upon. Hello, look at this. Everyone settled up in hut. Hooksy is going to be on the other side. Stown with the entry. And now Jabby, do they bring themselves back up the vent? It's Roy, once again with a dirty spray. Is punished by Stown. And Jabby knows they're being checked here. Xiphon turns away from the flash, turns in with that which is presented. The drop-down accuracy is not ideal, but Jabby might be able to rescue this still. The bomb has been planted, and Jabby, with 12 HP, has to go up against Tez's. Unfortunately, only a body shot is needed. And Tez's has a little bit of a celebratory fire in the air, embracing their inner Texan.
Property damage right there is what that is. He could almost knock a window out. Do you know how hard windows are to replace?
I mean,
I
as
never
a
knew.
terrorist bombing a nuclear power facility, I think they care a little bit less.
That's true. Do you know how much double glazing costs? I only found this out like recently. Like, oh my god! Like, if I were the owners of this reactor, I would be, yeah, sure, you defuse the bomb, all right, but could you have not shot the windows? Like,
every time you take out the windows above a nuclear power plant owner cries.
yeah, think about your actions. They have consequences.
Well, if ain't the consequences of my actions.
Dignitas outside takes a lot of damage there.
Roy sure punishes down, but look at this.
Oh!
This is kind of a half eco here from Heroic, and Roy cleaves through them easily. A pair of headshots, Dignitas makes himself as small as possible, but Xiphon can't cover them. Tezes wins that fight, and now Dignitas might well be penned in. Tezes, all they're worried about at the moment is keeping Dignitas contained, keeping him caged. Takes the swing, but Dignitas too damn fast. And Refresh is left alone against two bloodied, battered, and bruised opponents for timing. Might not be there. And Roy finishes it off. That's going to be the end of a half, 6-9. Once again, Kremer. It's pretty nice.
Another 9-6. Heroic. They now move to their city side, their favoured side. And the question is, will they be able to keep up the momentum they kept on Vertigo? Will we see a repeat of Vertigo where Heroic take the pistol and just dominate since then? Remember, in the lower side of your screens, you guys get to see Pinnacle. They're pretty awesome. You can head over to sub.gg Winter just to see just how awesome Pinnacle are. Rumour has it, these guys, anything good that's happened in this world came from them. So, head over, check them out with code Winter22. They'll know that we're the ones who sent you, and they can continue doing all things bright and beautiful in this world. In fact, rumour has it, Pinnacle are the ones who put all the world's goodness in Pandora's box.
I think you may have misread that fable.
They put all the world's badness in Pandora's box.
Pinnacle tried to lock it away, and Pandora brought it back.
Yep.
We are friends with Pinnacle. We are not friends with Pandora. And Heroic are no friends of Copenhagen Flames right now. Cadian on the crossfire does everything they can to protect their compatriot, but Tezza says, I don't need no bodyguard, man. I'm a warrior in my own right. 2 versus 2. Cadian so low. Once again, 99% lucky. 1% alive. Oopsie. Oh, they spot Cadian's head, but don't take the shot. Cadian going to try and maybe head glitch this here. It's going to come down to a brawl for the bomb, Kremer. We're going to brawl Hala, ladies and gentlemen. But which of the Vikings will be making their way into Odin's chambers? Jabby is reserving their place as Cadian with 1 HP. Can they get 2 headshots?
Oh my god!
Unbelievable!
Oh
1 HP in a dream! Valhalla awaits you!
What? Cadian, he doesn't care about Valhalla. That man can kill gods. What a round from Cadian! 1 HP, Harry! That's all you need! That's all you need!
Cool, calm, collected. And Cadian. The
Heroic.
Forces.
They go 10-6 up. Look at this. 2 players coming from 2 different angles simultaneously. You don't win that. You just don't. But Cadian, what a monster! Copenhagen Flames down to what I imagine is a stunned eco. Having to try and now just lick their wounds almost. And maybe even hunt the odd rifle.
They've been debilitated, of course, without that bomb plant. The capacity for a force severely limited. Stown. Not the ideal spray here. Could be punished, but no. Cadian there on the reinforcement. You liked what I could do with a USP, see what I could do with an M4, mate. Heroic. Hit 11. And Cadian continues to pad his stats. If you have Cadian in your world of esports Pinnacle Winter Series number 3 team, you're a pretty happy boy right now.
I think happy doesn't even come close. Like, what a round. Like, what a round. I'm still speechless. That's the Series 1. Heroic have won the Grand Finals. And it's off that round right there.
How did this happen?
Yeah.
Who's responsible for this?
Copenhagen Flames now with a couple of bits of util, AKs to wield, sure, but with no AWP on Dignitas, they still aren't at critical capacity. They aren't at critical mass yet. As Heroic play bonus with 3 MP9s.
As is. With the MP9 would love a little bit. Oh, look, the MP9 squad lined up on the starting line. It's like an F1 race, Kremer.
And it is.
Are they speed? Or are they terrible? Xiphon thinks they're victims, and Shush heavily disagrees. The second peek works out well. And while it isn't a lootable AK, a kill's a kill.
Right, going for outside control. Flash by Nikadors. Actually quite a nice flash there. And Heroic, they go for a big commitment to fight outside. But in that moment where they sort of face one another, they've allowed Roy to slip the net.
And Roy now can try and leverage this position, but Refresh on the angle. Yet again, he's a monster, dude. Refresh is having such a series at the moment.
He absolutely is. Copenhagen Flames, 3 on 4. What can they hope to do? I mean, a bomb plant here would be nice, but Heroic, they have a very good idea as to where the Flames will position themselves and poise themselves with a molly just to cancel the plant.
Gonna have to be off default, but it's easily lined up for Refresh to do a touch of damage. Just a looted AK in hand now, but Nikador's still doing the damage. Jabby gonna be joining them.
Look how low they are.
Top with the M4. Oh, they could be easily finished. It gives a little bit of time here for Shush to rejoin them. Nikador's trying to wrap around the back. Cadian, they appear to have read it. Looks for Nikadors. Might be able to see them, and indeed they do. And now Hooksy has to do it by themselves with 8 HP. They know Cadian's above, and Cadian simply lays them down. It's okay, little baby. Let me read you a bedtime story. You can have a sleep and dream of being the best Danish team, because guess what? We are.
Heroic 12-6 up now, continuing a dominant performance. And as Copenhagen Flames move to their next buy, once again, almost taken off at the knees because Nikadors just does not have enough money for that AWP. Heroic does such a good job at keeping the economy of the Flames low that right now it's going to be AKs again. Yes, there'll be utility, but as that last round showed, they need more than that, Harry. The only silver lining the Flames can take here is they're approaching what will be a kind of critical mass, a max loss bonus, but that still won't give them that full buy they need. Look how low the utility is, with still 1 minute and 40 on the clock.
Roy spots Cadian. Still a pretty potent weapon in hands of Roy. Tess is up high. Oh, skids to a halt. That's 2. Great play for Tessis. And while Xiphon does do the damage, they do take some in their own right and makes them an easy finish for Shush. Gabby here. Can they be the hero? 1 shot, 1 kill. And a quick reload. As it comes down once again to a 3 versus 2. Copenhagen Flames need to summon some clutching power here. But Roy, at the moment, they're more concerned with playing rear guard and allowing Jabby to be the tip of the spear.
There they are. A man advantage, bomb control, and now they're just hunting to get these weapons out of the hands of Copenhagen Flames. There's a single flash now to both retrieve the bomb and get to a site. I mean, that's a tall order.
Roy's going to be spotted here as they take the swing, but Cadian not fast enough. Shush smokes off Jabby.
Oh my god!
They just follow the trajectory. Jabby smells you. Got that big Danish nose. And that snoot. It smells meat. Roy finishes it off. Copenhagen Flames, though, they were economically damaged for that win. 7-12, Kremer.
I can't help but think that actually Heroic fumbled the ball a little bit there in going for what was I mean, yes, they're going for the odd beat, they're going for the odd bit of damage, but the reality is you're in a really difficult position where you were trying to stop them from getting into ramp, but you left Cadian solo, and then you left Shush to fight solo. Heroic now don't have much money, and instead we'll see the XM10 come out. We don't often see the auto shotty.
It's a newbie. It's a weird one. But hey, you want to clear some corridors? Might be your friend, the old trench gun, Kramer.
Oh man, XM. Pretty cool gun in general, actually, but we don't often see it. In fact, the XM's kind of one of the few guns that only have any viability on nuke. Tezes on the jump spot sees the attack coming, and it's a nice nade there. Does a fair bit of preliminary damage. Hits Hooksy down to 15 HP, making these 5-7s even deadlier. He's still alone.
Shuts the door. Or were you raising the barn? Xiphon takes him down. Now Jabby activates the lurk over on A. Sees Refresh. Refresh turns around, but it doesn't matter. Jabby simply fastest down on the peel and the refrag. Now it's 3 versus 3, but Copenhagen Flames, they have a clutch power to do these, and they've done it multiple times. Down a slower game than they had over on Vertigo, but still not a terrible performance as Dignitas watches Decon knowing that someone's in there. This is some pretty good coverage here. No, Dignitas took too long with a spray, so they lost Xiphon in the meanwhile. And now this is a fairly mono-directional post plant from the side of Copenhagen Flames. Can they be flushed from this, though? Shush and Cadian don't have a huge amount of cash to play with either. And while there is the attempt to spray through the door, and that is going to leave Roy in a position where they could even die to the bomb. A flash thrown through the hole, and Shush and Cadian might have decided that this is enough for us, boys. It can't be won. I worry about Roy surviving this, though. Oh, a miss from Cadian. And Roy survives the bomb as well. Now they can just tuck into the side.
Oh,
the HE does the damage,
save.
but won't find the kill. Copenhagen Flames will hit 8.
Hell of a round from Copenhagen Flames there, and even though there is a moment where that retake looks very doable for Heroic, they use that smoke on double doors instead of on the bomb, and you force everyone to peek through window where you have an AWPer who could have just held it. Instead, they go for the smoke on the bomb. They don't have enough time. They just back off. At least they save weapons. And Eco has to come alongside them, though, so puts all the more pressure onto this AWP and onto this rifle as Cadian makes the push over to Secret.
Will be able to leverage that position to the best of their ability. Right now, Stown is at least waiting to hear if anyone would have crossed making noise. Cadian now going to get themselves a visual. Dignitas is pre-aiming this. Oh, but the timing simply favors Cadian. Dignitas falling as a big member of Copenhagen Flames to be taken away.
Roy. Now, even though he doesn't have a very good position, still being able to have some form of presence is enough to mean that Heroic aren't able to stack these rifles up. The USPs are still a huge hole in the Heroic defense here. All Roy has to do is just get a kill outside, and suddenly this is straight back into Copenhagen Flames' favor. But the Flames, they're turning their attention away. But the AWP's poised, Harry, ready to fight.
Jabby gonna try and make the entry, shut down by Cadian. No Jabby today, they say, but you also forgot the bomb. We'll be taking this, mate. Looking down maybe in some events, Xiphon waits in there, like some kind of pit viper. In their natural habitat, the apex predator of Denmark? I don't think so, because Cadian's still making a good argument for that one. And this might well have to be a save here, Krem.
Yeah, 14 seconds left. Roy, he's just going to hold for the outside swing. Try and duck under it. Stown does see him. Unfortunately, these kills are silver linings. Heroic making it 13 off the back of a mere AWP that's been saved and a single M4. For the grand scheme of things, 2 versus 5 Copenhagen Flames.
Things are getting dire, Kremer. Here at the Pinnacle Winter Series, Heroic are 3 rounds away from qualifying for LAN Sweet LAN. They tried to do it in Pinnacle Winter Series number 1. They were upset monumentally by a Kazakhstani team called K23. But now, in Pinnacle Winter Series number 3, yet to drop a map, looking dominant, and looking like the Tier 1 team they truly are.
13-8. Copenhagen Flames, there is still hope for them. There's absolutely still hope for them, but they need something to go in their favor, and they need it fast, because right now, Heroic, they have both momentum, they have a map advantage, and they also have an economical advantage. Don't let it take away from the fact that there's still a chance to buy if you're over on the Flames, but you still need to find damage in this buy, otherwise Heroic will just have enough money to win the war of attrition.
Sometimes attrition's all you need, Kramer, once you got this kind of advantage. Copenhagen Flames need a miracle. And maybe that miracle is called Jabby. Jabbi. Or CORPSE. Cadian can't create another CORPSE. And I'm done spelling things out loud because I'm going to get it wrong.
Yeah, that was a mouthful, that was. Stown takes a mouthful of lead, though, as Huxley shuts him down. Cadian looking to level the playing field in what is a 3-on-3. For now, though, Dignitas able to get away. But Tezes, that re-aggression is going to really get a lot of control, despite the fact they've lost B.
Heroic not only on the precipice now of winning the Pinnacle Winter Series and walking away with a bunch of money and that land spot, but also the PR maneuver of upgrading their nuke win rate to 50%. And that's what really counts, Kremer.
Dignitas going to be completely outflanked here by Shush. That's the bomb as well. Heroic. This lack of respect being shown is going to be so damn effective.
The knife.
Or trigger discipline. He's looking for the other players.
As well. Unbelievable.
This is perfect.
Shush has joined
it's perfect!
and slain them. A triple kill for Shush, who decides that Copenhagen Flames will have to go quietly into that good night. No flame, no inferno. You are but an ember and a spark that I shall step upon.
Are we going to see Heroic stamp out that flame, or are Copenhagen Flames just waiting for that, for a lick of oxygen to hit that flame before it then starts turning into an inferno? Honestly, that flank from Shush, though, just nasty. And a lot of players, they'd gone for the knife kill. They'd have gone for the backstab. They'd have just panicked and shot. Not Shush. He plays for trigger discipline, and it's just perfect.
Action from Shush.
That's a killer look.
Refresh is judging. I know, man. I wanted a knife as well.
just bad. Yeah, it worked, but you could have got a knife kill. It's stat check for a reason.
You have brought shame upon Heroic Clan.
Heroic. They prepare once again to defend against a ramshackle Copenhagen Flames buy. I'm surprised they're full buying here, actually, when they could have gone for a bit of an eco and still sort of had something to fight for once Heroic hit match at serious point. Instead, they end up with what could be two fairly poor buys.
Did Stan take 1 damage from taking that smoke on the chair? Siphon runs through a fire and the flames. When I said we didn't want embers anymore, I didn't say to
oh my god!
In the midst of the inferno.
What an ace!
Shush! What an ace! What a play! What a man! What a team! Heroic hit match point.
72-1. Our partners at Pinnacle not favouring Copenhagen Flames at all here. They need a miracle. Shush. Out of ammo, no worries. Remember, switching to your secondary is always faster than reloading. Look at
Especially
that.
when you're up against an eco, just get out your pistol, boys.
Get it out your pistol. Get it out your system.
Get your weapon out, son.
Go on.
Show it to the boys.
That is the look of a killer right there. That's the man who's ace and who's happy he's done it.
That's an ecstatic Cadian right there. He is feeling it today.
That is one happy IGL. As Heroic now, but mere moments away from being able to take a victory in the Pinnacle Winter Series 3. However, Copenhagen Flames, they still have Mac 10s, they still have Deagles, they still have utility, all of which are trying to send Heroic to yet another round.
Copenhagen Flames are going to have to do it with a ramshackle buy. The armory is lacking, and so too will be the personnel and the health. Roy's already been bought low, and Stown is going to finish the job with the M4. No space, no quarter, no mercy.
Stown hunting for a opening here. Jabby has got this angle outside of vents, but this has already been called when Cadian saw him swing earlier in the round. Question is, has Jabby then... Do they think Jabby's now gone down vents?
Could be some critical misinformation. Jabby. He's smoked here. Sits in the smoke. Having a good old inhale. No nicotine included.
So like one of the movie props.
All right. Copenhagen Flames. They have played their time. They have gathered their info. And they have found their man. Stown is slain. Now Shush anchoring on the site. Cadian on the backup. A dive down into events, and that means Tez is going to be the one tested here. Refresh on the other side. Can they continue what they've done thus far? Tez is with the backstab. Never expected. Drops down from the rafters. The bomb is in my possession. But Dignitas will have to do it with the cover of Hooksy. 2 versus 2 with 14 seconds remaining. A fake on the plant. Dignitas is noted here. The Deagle hits different, but it's Hooksy in the end with the MAC-10 just about surviving. And the same can be said of Copenhagen Flames, who extend our grand finals for yet another round.
They hold on that bit longer, Harry. I mean, it comes at a challenge. Sure, it comes at a test, but they're able to do it. They're able to stay alive. 15-9 now the scoreline. Copenhagen Flames, they move into a stronger buy. Sure, AKs and Galils now come out, but it's still not perfect. MAC-10 still fill the ranks here, whereas Heroic, that money, it was good for 1. Now they have a full buy, but they lose this round, and all of a sudden, we're in a hot contention of what could potentially be an overtime.
Refresh, caught reloading. Jabby, can they make this into something magical? No, Tezes doesn't need eyes, but they also don't need enemies. Copenhagen Flames have themselves an advantage, and some upgrades as well. Stown, they can sense them through the smoke. Hooksy may well be fragged here, as Stown is their own entry, their own assist. Hooksy's cornered behind the vent at the moment. Needs an extrication. The Stown continues to come in from all of these different angles. Floats like a butterfly and stings like a Dane. Moving on forward now. Hooksy still behind the vent. The bomb has been planted. Plenty of time to play with here for Heroic at the moment. But not a huge amount of utility to try and make it work. 2 smokes to their name. And 2 flashes. Hooksy will be smoked off. Isolated in the corner. Roy taken out by the AWP. The big green monster has arrived. And I ain't talking about Shrek, baby. Dignitas has to save the tournament right here and right now, but Orpa versus Orpa, Cadian reigns supreme, and Heroic, tier 1 still, and number 1 at the Pinnacle Winter Series.
What a retake from Heroic there, actually. To go 3-on-3, when that bomb's down, you don't have much time to react. You absolutely have to just get that first kill as quick as humanly possible. For a moment it looked too late, but Heroic, they're able to continue that momentum. An incredible performance on their part, and just like that, they emerge as your Pinnacle Winter Series 3 champions.
Cadian was certainly feeling that victory, and I imagine everybody in the chat was as well. Thank you again to our partners here at the Pinnacle Winter Series. We have stream cards, our stream extension part of it allows you to predict what's going to happen in real time, and allows you to predict that maybe my camera might just crash right on me right there. World of Esports, our fantasy partner. If you think you could be a top-tier CSGO team manager, build your fantasy roster over there, including all the players from Pinnacle Winter Series number 3 and Extrafy, who have been giving away all of the lovely peripherals like this H1 headset here to make sure that you can always hear and aim with precision and quality.
However, that's not all. We now are able to bring you an interview with Tezes in just a moment. We can go over how Heroic were able to find themselves with such a dominant Vertigo, as well as, well, such a dominant series. And honestly, Harry, I really want to highlight, particularly with Heroic, was how they gave no respect to Copenhagen Flames from the start. They were constantly going aggressive. They were constantly hunting for man advantages. And once they had that advantage, they just didn't take their foot off the gas. And I meant that Copenhagen Flames, getting that all part on Dignitas, being able to go for full executions, it just wasn't really an option. We really saw that on Vertigo. We kind of saw it on Nuke as well.
I'm going to be really interested when we get into our interview to ask about how the coach change to exist has changed the dynamic over in Heroic over the last 4 months, and ask if maybe Exist could coach my camera into working for a couple of minutes.
I doubt that'll happen. Miracles can't happen, Harry. I'm sorry.
It's true. I'm going to need more than Exist to fix this.
There you are. Now, I believe we have a little bit of delay before we're able to bring you at interview. However, Harry, is there any player who you want to particularly highlight on either Heroic or Copenhagen Flames for having a really standout performance?
I mean, I don't think anyone's going to be surprised, but for me, it was all about Refresh. What a game this guy has had. And they've had some nasty flicks as well. When it comes to the Twitch aim and the quick flicks to try and ascertain an advantage where the timing was not in their favor, Refresh has been the guy on Heroic. And here's a quick look at how they ran this bracket again. Heroic ran in here as an invited team and did not drop a single map tremor.
No, they absolutely didn't, and I was worried that in that game against SKADE, it came very close. You know, double overtime on Vertigo. I was worried that with that double overtime, Copenhagen Flames would have had a lot a lot to anti-strat. However, not the case. All right, they don't need. They just don't run strats. They just run around. They kill everyone. Something I don't think we considered.
Sometimes you just get those kills, and I mean, I'm going to be thinking about that Cadian pistol round for a while. Like, playing in ramp against 2 separate approaches simultaneously on opposite angles, and winning that with 1 HP. That is absolutely manic.
That's insane.
I can't believe that that's the reality in which we live, because that's not what happens in reality. That's what happens in the movies. He just John Wicked it.
He just John Wicked it. And we saw a lot of kind of single kind of player just insane rounds. I think the other one I want to highlight is Dignitas, that double no scope and the retake on Vertigo. I mean, Shush, that's 5K as well, where they just ran it and just killed everyone. Just a moment, we're going to head into an interview with Tezes, where we're going to be able to maybe pick the minds of some of the heroic players and figure out how they were able to craft such a dominant victory.
Hello, Tezes. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the big dub. Are you guys looking forward to Land Sweet Land?
Yeah, that will be nice, for sure. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Hello?
can. I thought Cram was going to ask a question there. I don't know.
That was me. That was me. I do apologise.
Cram just completely blanked out. For
I do apologise. I lost all my audio. We're better. We're better though.
Okay.
God, my heart. I genuinely thought that was something worse than it was, but. Anyway, yeah, no, Tezes, I'm going to ask you, that veto, I mean, you go into a map which you've only really played twice recently, you then head over to Nuke where you're only boasting a 33% win rate. Was that the veto you were expecting, or were you looking to play other maps instead?
Yeah, well, we knew we were gonna pick Nuke, so yeah, that we of course knew before the game and could prepare a little for that, and yeah, they picked Vertigo. It was, yeah, it's something they could pick. But yeah, we had a little advantage here today because their match ended 1 hour before our game started. So yeah, it was a bit tough for them, but yeah, we stepped up individual in this tournament, so that was nice.
I know you guys said you wanted to play Nuke today, and obviously you guys have been looking very good at Nuke recently. We had the cheeky thought during the match that maybe you guys just wanted to get that 50% break-even percentage on his. Did that factor in at all, or was it just all about the dub?
No, we didn't really feel like it. We just wanted to try to see where our Nuke is and prove that it is good. I would say that we have these 2 Vertigo games we played today. It's against some really good teams on it, especially ECSTATIC is great on Vertigo, and we proved ourselves to be able to beat them there. So that's nice.
A bit of a question about you and your teammates, Tezes. We sort of picked our MVP. I believe, Harry, you said it. Who was it you said it was?
For me, it's Refresh. Like, I think Refresh had a great game.
Yeah, and so my question for you, Tezes, is kind of from a player's perspective. Who was the sort of playmaker? Who was the MVP for this series?
Like for only the final here, what?
Just for the final. Just the final.
Yeah. Well, I always say this when we win stuff, but Casper Cadian is like, when he's feeling it, he's calling, he's doing crazy clutches with the USP, the 1 and 2 there with 1 HP. Like when he does those kind of things, you know you're gonna win that match. And he was calling great, had some great mid rounds, and yeah, for me in these games, like he's almost always the MVP. So.
What were the comms like when that USP clutch happened on Nuke? Because we could not believe it. That was absolutely movie-like, cinematic from KD.
Yeah, that was absolute madness. I was thinking I had to have to like kill at least one here, and I died. Then it became 1 and 2, and Casper was just ice cold and got the last 2.
And one of our kind of final questions is, you guys, you really punished outside control. You were constantly going through the smokes. You're constantly kind of flanking behind them. At what point do you start calling, okay, start pushing outside? Is it a timing play, or is it just something kind of happens in the round? You see players on ramp and you just sort of anti-strat?
It's basically most around like how we feel like we are positioned it. If we're in a bad spot, or yeah, just need any kind of information, I guess. So yeah, a lot of mid-round decisions. We are known as a team of being active in mid rounds and in the clutch situations and every kind of situation really. So yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, Terzes. Congratulations on the victory, and we will see you at LAN Sweet LAN.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, CSGO enthusiasts, that was Terzes from Heroics, our overall champions. Not Heroics, just one Heroic. Like there is one Victor who didn't drop a single map over the course of their playoff run, Kremer. Let's have a quick round of applause as well for our lovely partners, of course, our nomenclature partner in Pinnacle, giving you all of the best odds on all of the CSGO that you want to bet on. Use code WINS22 at sign up to let them know that we sent you Extrafire. Use code WINS10 at tab.gg/Extrafire for 10% off top tier peripherals. All about quality rather than gimmicks. Stream cards, our stream extension partner, where you can predict using a deck of cards what's going to be happening in CSGO rounds as they happen. And of course, if you think that you have what it takes to be a top tier CSGO team manager, consider our fantasy partners, World of Esports, and you can get all of the players from Pinnacle Winter Series number 3 as well.
A few other people to thank as well. Of course, this wouldn't be possible without our producers. For this one, we have the wonderful Viper, one of our admins, of course, being the wonderful Exit, and our observers, all of which have been over at Relog. So massive thank you to you guys at Relog. Of course, you viewers, because without you guys, this just doesn't happen. We just don't do it. So thank you all so much for those who have tuned in throughout the entirety of the tournament, those who have been in the grand finals. I've been your caster, Kremer 3. I've been joined by the wonderful Leg Day. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful next couple of weeks while we lead up to LAN Sweet LAN. And with that, we'll see you in the next one.